It's gonna be dead on arrival. Same price tag as Arc Raiders, like on the dot. It's the exact same price as Arc Raiders. It's been delayed to shit. They've had problems in the back end. They had that whole fiasco with them stealing another fired worker's art. And the original playtest they had out, people just weren't liking. Or they were liking, but it wasn't doing anything to shake the mold. Now that Arc Raiders is out, I don't think there is any grounds where Marathon can actually stand on its own two legs. Already does not have a lot of trust. Meanwhile, Embark is like the pinnacle of what you want an independent studio to be. Arc Raiders works because there's a unified goal. You're all a bunch of tiny little weak as fuck dudes fighting a bunch of really big fuck you robots. And having a big overarching enemy, funny, get it, overarching, I'm so funny. Having a big overarching enemy makes players want to work together instead of, just being straight on the trigger with each other, which, I mean, there's still moments of that. It's, when you give players for the freedom to kill or not kill, there's always going to be people who kill. Because there's an overarching, massive looming force, it encourages player community and it encourages players to work together, which Marathon will not have. I feel like they've said that they're going to add proximity voice chat to Marathon now, and I feel like that's directly because of how well it's worked for Arc Raiders. And it's just going to be like Tarkov. There's going to be no reason to unify with other players. It's first person. The enemies you fight are incredibly generic. They're just more security robots because who doesn't love fighting the same human enemies in every single game ever? That's why Arc stands out. They're different. They're unique. It doesn't hold your hand in how you fight them. Like, it's pretty obvious when you see a giant flying drone coming towards it. You want to shoot off its wing. And there's no hit markers. There's no flying damage numbers. It trusts the player enough to figure out how it works on its own. And I love Embark for that. They give you the game, and they do not hold your hand in anything. No hit markers, no massive complex HUDs. I just love the fact there's no hit markers. It goes back to everything revolves back to fucking Halo. It goes back to classic Halo with breaking enemies' shields. There's no thing on your UI that tells you that you're doing damage. It's all visually and audible. And I think that is a much better and more engaging way of doing it than just having an artificial number pop up and say, oh, you've hit this person and you've done some damage. And I think another reason why Arc Raiders is doing so well is because they know how to focus towards the player. Like, they trust you enough, and I just don't think Marathon's going to do that. I think Marathon's going to be more generic, AAA slop, because they're not an independent studio, they don't have final creative say over what they make. And that's going to negatively hurt them a lot, especially with Bungie and especially with Sony, because Sony is a greedy piece of shit company. And with the amount of issues that it's gone through already, it does not have a leg to stand on. Visually, aesthetically, it's cool as fuck. It's cool as fuck. I love it. It's an aesthetically pleasing acid trip. Best way to explain Marathon. I don't like that they're taking a pre-established Bungie brand and then just massacring its original identity, because that's not what Marathon originally was. It was a pretty gritty, aliens-inspired sci-fi shooter. But, times change, I guess. And audio design, nothing will ever come close to Arc Raiders again in audio design. Like, you're getting the people who made the audio for Battlefield 3 and Battlefield Hardline. Like, arguably some of the best sounding effects in the genre. And you're getting them having complete free reign over what they make and how they make it, compared to Marathon. And Destiny doesn't sound bad, but it does not have as strong as an identity as Arc Raiders does. Like, I guarantee you, in 5-10 years' time, their sound effects are going to be as iconic as, like, the classic Fortnite Storm Circle noises, or the original Halo shield recharge. They've got everything that needs to make them just iconic. I don't think Marathon has the capabilities to pull that out of their ass. And especially because a lot of people just aren't going to play it because of Arc Raiders. If they released it earlier, like they were originally planning to, then I could definitely see it having more of a foothold, because it was their first. But now that Arc Raiders is here, they've got nothing. They've literally got nothing to offer. The only thing they have to offer is the aesthetic and the fact that it's a Bungie game, and Bungie makes good fucking gunplay. But I just don't think the gunplay is going to be enough to like hold a significant player base, while Arc Raiders has way more on its plate. Arc Raiders, you've got the AI enemies. It's got a really fucking cool looking map. It's like an aesthetic that isn't done well anywhere besides Fallout. The sci-fi retro futurism, cassette futurism. It just makes sense, but they've nailed it perfectly. It's weird looking, but it's aesthetically pleasing in a way that nothing else can hit. And if you want to go back to the original, what was it, 4 out of 10 IGN review, that was fucking god awful. And they just said it was Fortnite with a coat of Daisy paint. It is completely its own, from art direction to sound design, that nothing else can replicate. Marathon is in a completely different direction, while Arc Raiders is in a very gritty cassette futurism, modern world. Marathon's leaning towards the more pastel sci-fi, and I think it looks really cool. It reminds me a lot of that one episode from Love, Death, Robots, and I'm like, even down to the animation of that trailer. That trailer was cool. They either need to just full commit to doing something different, which is what they were going to do, but now it seems like, because of the backlash of the original beta, that they're just going back and kind of rebuilding it all. And I don't know, I just don't see how it's going to be able to stand. And because it's Bungie, they're going to fill it to the absolute brim with microtransactions. Arc is good because everything you can get just by playing, plus they give out a lot of free shit. Bungie, modern Bungie, likes to make everything as tedious as possible in favor of making a cheap way to buy out what you're going to do. It's a $40 game. It's 60 Australian. And if they add pointless microtransactions on top of it, it's going to just put a shit taste in everybody's mouth. I don't have faith in Bungie, man. I don't think they have anything that can set them aside from every other game in the extraction shooter genre. And I don't think it has anything that can even step close to what Arc Raiders has. I'd like to be proven wrong. I'd happily take the pride hit of calling a game shit before it releases for it to be good. I would like that. I like Bungie. I like their gunplay. I just hope they have something more to offer with a game that's stepping into a scene that has just very recently gotten one of the biggest shakeups in the shooter genre ever. This is as big as Fortnite. I love Arc Raiders. This shit is... It's perfect. It is perfect. It marks a fucking nutcase of a studio. I don't like the AI voices, but I've ranted enough about that shit. Yeah, Marathon needs to find something to separate itself from Arc. Again, not a lot of hope, not a lot of good stuff to come out of Bungie in the last 15 years.